So, imagine a program that promises to keep DUI offenders sober 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It sounds like a solution that could save lives, right? But as mothers who have seen the devastation of drunk drivers can cause, we know it's not always that simple. Now, the 24/7 Sobriety program gives us hope to those who want to change. That's the key, wants to change. But how many of them really want to change? But what about the repeat offenders? The ones who keep finding ways to slip through. Can we put our trust in a system to keep our families safe when we know that some offenders will do whatever it takes to dodge accountability and keep putting our lives in danger? And believe me, there's a lot of people out there who think that it's love to bail their kids, loved ones out of jail. That is the worst thing you could do. Let them spend some time in jail. Then maybe they might want to use this program. But if they know you're going to bail them out, they won't. Now that is why we need to investigate what this program can and can't do, and why, as mothers, we must understand the truth. Because at the end of the day, it's our families and our children that we are fighting to protect. Now, welcome to today's episode. I want to start out by asking you to imagine something with me. Picture this. You get a call no one ever wants to receive. It's a kind of call that changes your life forever and in an instant and gives you a life sentence. Someone you loved, your child, your spouse, your sibling, has been killed in a drunk driving crash. Sometimes all of them. The shock hits you first, but then most of us know what it's like because we have experienced it firsthand. The grief sets in, and one question seems to be roaring to your mind. How could this have happened? How could this have happened to my child? I was shocked to find out how many times the man who killed my son was involved in something dealing with alcohol. How is this person allowed to drive under the influence again and again and again and again? In some states like Texas, a driver's license is not suspended, even if there is a death. And I found that out firsthand. You will find throughout my videos that the criminal always gets his rights or her rights. The victim must fight for ours. Yes, they are written, CBRA, but as I found out, they are not consistently enforced. That depends on who you have voted into office. Please, don't go by Democrat and Republican. It's the individual person, how he or she feels. For many of us, this isn't just a story or what if. It's heartbreaking reality. Drunk driving affects 2 out of 3 people every year in the United States. And what's worse, it's getting worse. I know here in Nevada, it is getting much, much worse. Just like in my case, Dennis Rodriguez Abeda Jr., the man who killed my son, had already been caught being abusive and driving drunk several times, yet the system enabled him to find a way to circumvent the law. And believe me, his mother helped in doing this. She probably thought it was love, but it was not. This is why we're talking about the 24/7 sobriety law today. Laws like these are critical because they recognize a harsh and simple truth. Offenders were getting second chances, third chances, fourth chances, while victims and their families, like us, received none. We only received heartache. So Nevada and other states decided enough was enough. They created a new system that punishes offenders and holds them accountable in real time, offering a path to rehabilitation. Now that is for those who are serious and want to stop drinking. But why does this law work in some states and not in others? Let's break it down a little bit. What exactly is 24/7 sobriety law? And why does it matter? At its core, the 24/7 sobriety law is designed to prevent repeat DUI offenses, just like victim impact panels are. For too long, offenders face penalties like fines, license suspensions, or even jail time, but those punishments weren't enough to stop them from driving and drunk again. In fact, a lot of times they were able to get out on bonds and plea deals and everything else. We needed to be a better approach, and that's where the 24/7 sobriety law comes in. Under this law, offenders are required to take frequent mandatory alcohol tests. In Nevada, for example, this means that either twice a day breathalyzer test or use of continuous alcohol monitoring devices such as ankle bracelets that track alcohol consumption in real time, the key difference. Immediate consequences: if you miss or fail a test, you don't wait for a court date. Now that's a big deal because sometimes waiting court date could be months away. You face jail time or penalties immediately. Now let's pause and think about that. The power of this approach lies in its consistency and immediacy. It's not just a fine you pay and forget about. This program holds offenders accountable every single day. They're reminded twice a daily of their responsibility to stay sober, with no room for excuses. This is really for those that really want to stop. It's this constant oversight that leads to real behavior change. Now again, not in everyone. You have to want to change. So why does it work? The science of behavior change tells us that when consequences are swift and certain, people are much less likely to engage in risky behaviors, like drinking and driving. And again, if they know that their mother or their loved one is not going to bail them out of jail, they may think twice too. So tough love there, folks. Daily testing ensures offenders stay sober and provides accountability that traditional punishments can't match. They don't wait for the next court date to feel pressured to comply. If they fail today, they face the consequences today. That kind of immediate feedback is powerful motivator for real change. At least I hope. But this law isn't just about punishment. It has a significant rehabilitative effect. Many DUI offenders struggle with alcohol addiction, and the 24/7 sobriety law gives them a structured path to sobriety. By requiring daily tests and monitoring, it helps break the cycle of alcohol dependence, sometimes for the first time in their lives. Over time, this daily accountability creates new habits and helps offenders regain control of their lives. This program doesn't just keep our roads safer, or we hope keeps our roads safer. It helps people to reform. It's in states where the law has been implemented, we've seen remarkable reductions in DUIs. I cannot say that about Nevada. I really can't. But there are some states that this has been very effective. Now, let's not forget the victims and their families. This law brings them some degree of assurance. Now, as a victim, I don't know. Because I've seen how they can circumvent the law, how so many of them just get away with it, everything. that the criminal has all the rights. But this is what they're saying in statistics. Knowing that the offenders are monitored daily and they aren't slipping through the cracks helps families that justice is being served. Again, maybe for some, but not for me. It doesn't erase the pain of the lost, but it does provide peace of mind that steps are being taken to prevent further future tragedies. Now there, I agree with them. I don't want anybody else to go through the hell I'm going through. In the end, the 24/7 sobriety law is about balance. It's about protecting the public while allowing offenders the opportunity to change. It's about accountability, saving lives, and giving us hope as we fight the epidemic of DUI-related deaths. It's working, and it's making our roads sober and safer for everyone. As we wrap up today, I want you to take away one thing. The 24/7 sobriety law isn't just about punishing those who made mistakes. It's about creating a safer future for all of us, because everyone deserves to come home alive. Let's continue to support efforts and make that a reality. After everything I have been through, losing my son to a repeat DUI offender, I've realized that the laws, no matter how well written, are only as effective as the people enforcing them. The 24/7 sobriety law gives me hope because it forces accountability in a way other laws haven't. However, too many offenders slip through the cracks, finding loopholes or manipulating the system to avoid real consequences. We all know that. But even with such a powerful tool, its success ultimately depends on those responsible for implementing it. If it's not enforced consistently or taken seriously, it risks becoming another law that offenders can work around. And believe me, they know how to do it. But this law is truly to save lives. We need commitment from everyone involved to ensure it's upheld and used to its fullest potential. This is why the 24/7 sobriety law succeeds in some states and not in others. I believe in the strength of the law, but I also see logistical challenges, and especially here in Nevada, the world's so-called entertainment and sports capital. We don't have a dram law to hold bars accountable, and even though there's a law that allows a life sentence after 3 DUIs, enforcing these provisions can be challenging. For this law, we can make a real impact. We need comprehensive commitment to enforcement and public safety. Now, what do you think? Do you think that this will work in your state? I am Sarah Rainey. I am not an attorney. I am the mother of Dr. Kelly Jean Rainey, who lost his life to a drunk driver on January 25th, 2019. Thank you.